Good morning, everyone. Today is January 15th, 2021. I'm Kimberly from Fat Quarter Shop, and I have a ton of stuff to show you today. We have lots of new books that we're going to be publishing. We are working on socialites. We're in the middle of 2 or 3 sew-alongs, so I have a lot of stuff to show you. I'm going to start with block 15 of socialites, which is our free pattern. This one was designed by Lori Holt. It's very easy, and Lily's going to show you the block that Lori sewed with hers. And she used her Prim fabric collection and one of her bee backgrounds. This is a very easy block, and it's free. And we have 3-inch, 6-inch, and 9-inch instructions. So from here, I'm going to show you the blocks that we have made before we start. So this one is from Quotation by Zen Chic, and it was made by Teresa. This one is Fig Tree Quilts, Figs and Shirtings, and Deborah made this one. So these are both 3 inches, and you can see they have both pressed different ways. So you can press however you think is going to work for your style. This is Folk Tale by Layla Boutique, and Terry stitched this one. I really like this one. It's very Southwestern. This one is Shine On Collection by Bonnie and Camille, and that really pops also. And this one, that was made by Sue. This one was made by Angel, and this is Cider by Basic Gray. Now I'm going to also show you the ones that I made. So I have made these all 3 in the same fabric. This is Homestead, except I changed the background to On the Farm, a white on white dot from that collection. And so you can see when I did this, I also picked a stripe on this one because it was simple, and I thought it would really display the stripe. Now, on our free patterns, we're showing you 2 fabrics, but I want to show you Lori's again because on Lori's, she's showing 3 fabrics. So if you're somebody who wants to use more than 3 fabrics, just look at all the designers from Socialites, and they're all doing different colorways and different things, so you can make it your own. So, oh, and on this one, I'm going to auction off these 2 quilts when they're done to Make-A-Wish, and we do have 2 Make-A-Wish auctions going right now that I will show you later today. This time, I am going to sew a 9-inch block. Last week, I also sewed a 9-inch block with block 14, and this is Apricot and Ash, or Apricot and Ash. I don't really know how to say it.
Both ways are correct.
So I'm going to do another 9-inch block using this collection. So I'm using the same background on this one because I have some left over, and I just picked a floral print. Since this is pretty big, it will show off the florals. So my first step is we're going to just cut some fabric, and we need 4 2x5-inch rectangles. So let's see, so this is, I'm going to cut 2-inch strips is what I'm going to do. So I need 4 2x5. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a 4-inch strip. Move this over. And I'm going to try to do 5-inch this way. I'm going to try to keep that there, and I'll show you why in a second. And then 2-inch this way. So these are my 2x5s right here, if I did it right. And those are my A's. And I need 12 2-inch squares. So since these are 2-inch, I can get 4 from here. So I think I might be able to get the rest from here, but I'm not sure. So I'm just going to cut one strip and we'll see, just so I don't waste any fabric. And you can see when I'm working with just a single block, I just do a lot of small fabric. I don't cut big, long strips. So I'll start at 6 inches. I don't know if this is going to be enough, but we'll see. So 8. Okay, if I can get it from here, it'll be enough, but I don't think I am. So from here, that's plenty. But when you turn it over, can you zoom in, Lily? Mm-hmm. You will see that this is full of selvage. See the dots?
Oh, yeah.
Do you see them?
Yes.
So there's dots there. So you don't want those dots. So I just need one more 2-inch square. So I will just cut it from right here, just so that I don't waste any more fabric. And I have no waste. And then I'm going to use this leftover next week. And on these are fabric bees. We need to draw lines on the wrong side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that before I put them in the stack. And you can use any kind of marking pen you like. I like to use the friction pen because the heat will make it disappear. Some people don't like the friction pen, but that's what I use. So I'm just going to draw the lines. It'll make it easier. And a little bit. Almost done. So there are my B's. And for my C's, I need 4, 3, there we go, 3.5 by 5. So I'm gonna actually I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna fold it into 4s, and I'm gonna cut it from right here. And I'm just gonna try to leave out obviously this selvage. Now this selvage, actually on this one, can you zoom in a little bit, Lily?
Yeah.
Thanks. This one right here, usually the selvage, these little dots are in the white, but you can see they're actually in the gray. And you can feel them, and they have a different feel, and you don't want those selvages in your quilt because it's like a different texture almost. So I'm going to kind of assume that we're going to go right here. So I'm going to do, let's see, 3.5 by 5. So I'm going to just do 3.5 this way, 5 this way. And then I will set this aside and we'll cut that down in a second. Well, after the block's done. So here I'm going to just do 3.5 by 5 so I can just do a cut once. So 3.5 this way, 5 this way. And then we're ready to go. So those are my C's. So what I'm going to do now is just start laying these out. And we're going to do 3 corners. 1, 2, 3, but you can actually do these 2 at the same time if you want. So to save time, I'm going to go ahead and put these 2 on opposite corners and pin, and then we'll go to the machine. And then I can answer any questions. Now the last one that we add, we're going to add after. But this is kind of how I like to do it. It'll make it quicker when I get to the sewing machine.
Betty Williams is asking, are there refills for the friction pens?
No, sorry. Yeah, no, there's not. Even at Office Depot, there's not.
Oh.
Because I was on a search for a new mechanical pen, and I went to Office Depot just to see kind of what they sell for friction. And you have to just buy a new pen. They don't have refills.
And Barb Setterdahl said, any tips on telling the right side of the fabric on the wow? Maybe she means
White on white.
White on white, okay.
So, if it's a white on white, like this one, what I would do is once you cut it, like once you cut a square, I would place it to the side and I would do one up, one down, one up, one down, which is like, and I would put them all face up, just like I did with this. Just automatically put them face up once you cut, so you don't have to think later. Now, if it's a Bella Solid, I don't even pay attention, to be honest. I just use whatever side. Or a Kona, you know, I just use whatever side is there. But a white on white, I will, after I cut, just put in stacks, and I just think up, down, up, down. So from here, I'm just going to sew. And I'm just going to, when you're sewing, just make sure that you really keep the white right on the edge of that gray. Because if you don't, and you kind of go like that, when you flip this out, it's gonna be short. So that is why I do pin. And I'm just gonna go really fast. I'm at like a 1.5 stitch length.
Oh, and a few people are saying they found refills for the friction pens at Office Max and Amazon.
Okay, well there you go.
That's cool.
Have no idea.
New info.
I don't know how you would get it in the pin. Okay, my machine came unthreaded. So I'm gonna rethread it. It's been happening to me all week, actually. I think it's the week of unthreading. At home, I don't know, I have something set wrong because at home it kept unthreading. And I never figured out what it was. Or maybe I'm going too fast.
Okay, and then Pam Taylor was asking, why do I hear so often that people don't like friction pens? What seems to be the issue?
The issue is it was not made for fabric, so the company's not going to stand behind it because it's not made for fabric, it's made for office use. And if it goes below a certain degree, your lines will come back. And if you put the line on too dark of a fabric, sometimes it will turn it white, which I don't ever do that, so it doesn't affect me. Anything else, Lily, that I'm missing? But we live in Texas, so it's hot.
It's just the cold, yeah. I know, depending on what kind of fabrics you're using too, sometimes it'll, once you iron it off, you'll see like a white streak, just a little bit. But that's really rare for that to happen.
Yeah, it's only, like, if you put the black pen on the black fabric, it's going to leave a white mark sometimes. But I don't sew with black, and I don't generally sew with darker fabric, so it's never been an issue for me. And I make so many quilts, I don't need them to be, like, heirloom. And there's lots of blog posts out there where people get really feisty about it, but on this channel, I just show you what I do, and then you can decide what works best in your house, because I'm good with whatever you want to do. So from here, one of the reasons I really like the Creative Grids ruler is they have a really strong dotted 1/4 inch line. So when I trim these off, I just use that side. There's also a side that is less strong because it has less dots. So like, okay, let's see. So like right here, it's harder to see, but this one has stronger lines. So I use that side.
Also, thanks to everyone in the chat. Apparently, the refills are only for certain styles, like the clickable friction pens.
Yeah, I don't think those would work like in this, because where are you going to put your ink? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that one's meant to do that.
Yeah, y'all are going to have to defer to Friction for that. I have no idea.
Right, and then Fran Montalto Clark says, why doesn't her fabric fray?
Because I starched. So I have a couple videos on starching. I use the Lisa Bonjean method that she taught me years and years and years and years ago. And I starch, and it makes your fabric firmer or thicker, and it just doesn't fray. I don't know. And we have lots of videos on how I do that.
Yes.
So on this, I'm going to iron. Now I am pressing my blocks open, so if you look at the blocks that I did, I'm glad those look good because I didn't even check. The reason we're pressing these open is when we start putting lots of blocks together, you're going to have seams that might meet up. Now, if you're going to do a different setting where you don't need them to be, you can press to one side. Before I do anything, I set my seam, which is just leave the iron flat on a seam. It kind of locks in your stitches. And then I'm going to press to one side, and then I'm going to press open. And the reason I press to one side first is if I just start and just try to press open, I'm going to burn myself. Because I already know that's not going to save me any time. I'm going to burn myself. So I'll do all of these to one side, then I'll press open.
And Wilma Evans is asking, what blade do you use to cut through 4 fabrics all at once?
Oh, I use an endurance blade. Is that what it's called, Lily?
Yes, Endurance Blade by Olfa.
Yeah, and actually at home just changed mine, and it felt so good this week to have a fresh blade.
Feels like cutting through butter, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh, why? The only reason I changed it is I had a little bit of episode yesterday. Everything was going wrong. Everything was going wrong on my sewing, and so I was like, I think I probably need to stop. I'll show y'all what went wrong, but I went over a pin. So I had like a loose pin, and that's rare for me to just have a loose pin on my cutting table because I'm OCD. I especially have it a lot today. And I went over it and I had to change my blade. And I was mad. I was like, oh my gosh, I just ruined a blade.
Oh.
Yeah, no, yeah. I have a little bit of anxiety today.
Oh. I'm sorry to hear that. Funny story from Kim West. Kim says, I used the friction pens for a college course once and left them in my car during a hot Texas summer, and the notes disappeared. Oh no.
Yeah, that's...
Of course, in Texas, right? Of course they would.
I don't know where the wooden things are today, so...
Give me one sec. I know
Well,
exactly where they are.
sorry.
No, you're good. I forgot to put them out there.
Okay,
Right
cool.
here.
Thanks. So we'll use those on the next step. So then I'll lay these back out, still following my pattern. I just need to do the top right. So we're going to leave the bottom left open and just put one here. And I just find if I take the time to do all of this, lay it out and pin it before, that I'm less likely to make a mistake. Because if I don't, I might just like accidentally do this kind of number. Don't ask me how I know that, because I'm glad that today I'm sewing on camera and not yesterday, because yesterday was a mess. I don't know. I did end up making a ton of stuff, but yeah. You know how sometimes, I mean, yeah, just some days just don't work out. I was just like, today is not working out for me. But I did. I sewed till 2 o'clock. I sewed like 5 hours even. Well, I kind of had to. I couldn't really stop.
Bonnie still's asking if you have your tea today.
I don't. I drink it all. I didn't, sometimes I stop at a Starbucks a second time, but I didn't today, and I probably should have. Well, yesterday, you know what? Okay, so there's this gas station that I always go to on the way to work. And I fill up my gas anytime it's half a tank because I am OCD and I like to always have gas, just in case. And the gas station I always go to because I can throw my trash away because it's right by work. Well, they skimmed my credit card. And so yesterday we had to spend some time with Amex because my credit card was stolen and used all over Austin.
Oh no.
So I'll have to show y'all which one it is because now I can't go to that gas. Kevin was like, you can't go back to that gas station. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's going to change my morning commute.
Oh my god.
So that kind of started it off.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Well, and I usually look, but I mean, obviously I didn't see a skimmer thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that stinks.
Oh.
So that was my morning. Because Kevin's the main person on that credit card. And so he's like, wait, were you in Del Valley? Because somebody's using your credit card. And I'm like, so then we had to like stop and figure out, okay, where did I use my card? And it's the only thing I use that credit card for is gas. That's it. So now I can't get gas. And this morning I couldn't get gas. Because I was like, I don't have a credit card.
From Karen J. Why does my fabric scrunch up and sometimes get stuck in the feed dogs when I start sewing at the tip of the square?
Okay, so your tension is probably a little too tight. So I would mess with tension, probably.
Is that somewhere where leaders and enders might help?
Yeah, leaders and enders would definitely help. I don't use those, but it kind of depends on what kind of machine you have too. Some machines are better at starting and ending than others. So, and I'm using this. This is what I always use. It is called a clapper. I don't know when they're coming back in stock, but a lot of you guys, husbands, have been making them, and so I think that's awesome. A lot. I'm like, man, y'all are crafty. So on this one, I'm going to lay these all out just like this. So I've got the right one where I know this corner is empty. I'm going to put my fabric A's here. And I'm going to go ahead and pin them all, and then we'll go to the sewing machine. Because it's easier for me to answer questions, and I do like to pin for accuracy.
From Lorraine Hamlin Lepole, when you're using yardage, do you cut it in small pieces to be more manageable, and if so, what size?
Yes, I do. But the trick is, and I'm going to complicate things. When I make when I'm doing these blocks, it's no big deal because I'm doing block by block and picking fabric as I go. If I'm doing a big quilt, I do not like pieced borders. I cannot stand to see a quilt that has a pieced border in it. It drives me crazy. So I will figure out before I do anything, and I will cut my length of fabric. I will cut my borders length of fabric before I do anything. And then, yeah, I'll just cut them down into maybe half-yard chunks. But also, like, not having to piece those borders saves time. So now I'm switching to a 1/4 inch foot, and I'm going to just sew these real quick. And hope that this does not come unthreaded. Almost done. So this one's easy. We had 2 easy weeks in a row. I don't even want to look at next week. There's one that's really hard. I don't know how we're going to do that one. On camera, it's much harder to do these things on camera than it is in my house. And here, when I get to that, you see that when I'm ironing, I'm not rocking my iron. That will also make your fabric free. And usually once I get it where I want it, I count to 5. In my head, I count to 5 every time. So, especially today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how I know that I think it's going to stay down. If I go a little bit, like if I do 3 seconds, it might not hold as good and it might pop up. So I do always count to 5. That's kind of like the magic number. All my kids were born on the 5th of the month too, so there's my magic number. Okay. Now we just have to lay it out, and I'm just going to follow my diagram. Usually on something like this, I'll just follow the solid to make it easy. Like the fabric A.
Okay.
Instead of trying to worry about this, I just look at my background. Like that, that, and that. Now, this is going to take a lot of pinning because you're going to want this to line up with this. You're going to want this to intersect and this to intersect. So I'm going to show you a trick if you're a beginner. So where this intersects here, you want it to intersect right at that 1/4 inch. And then here you want the same thing. So if you draw the line, it's going to help you. So when I put this together, I'm going to do right sides together and pin, and then Lily's going to zoom in and we're going to try to show what I do without, it might shake a little bit, so you'll just have to hope it doesn't shake. Okay, here. When I open this, I want that to lay right on top. So I just kind of pinch it, make sure those line up, and I'm going to pin right in that intersection. And then when I go here, this, actually both sides need to be marked. I want these 1/4 inch marks to meet, but I want this white to meet that white.
Okay.
But after you've been sewing a lot, I don't do this at home, I don't need to do this, but after you've been sewing a while, you won't need to do it, but this helps you if you are brand new. So that is that. This one I'm going to go ahead and mark this side. But that's how I get stuff to line up, is just really pinning. If I don't pin, my quilt's a hot mess. So here I want my 2 lines to match up, but I want those whites to touch. And I pin right there. And we're going to hope that we don't have to use a seam ripper today, because I did use kind of a small stitch. So I'm going to chain piece all the way down. And I'm not going to cut the chain apart, so that hopefully, if I don't have to pull any stitches out, I can just iron and not have to worry about me putting the wrong side to the wrong side. So before I iron, I'm going to look and see if ooh, those match. So right there, those match. Let's see if these other ones match. And these match.
Yay.
And you can see right here, you can see that black line. It's going to come off when I iron.
Question from Ginger Nikaza. Do you find it's a pain in the neck switching sewing feet all the time?
No, because this machine is worth it. It's so fast. So, I mean, I don't love it, but no, I'm just used to it, I guess.
Yeah. And Carolyn Ponce was asking, what do you mean by rocking the iron? Because you had said not to rock your iron.
Okay, I'll show you. Hold on. Now, I just messed up these. So let me fix these. Okay, so when I say rock the iron, I mean this. I'm gonna move this off. And like if you were trying to press something, doing all that, rather than that. Does that make sense, Lily?
Yes.
Okay, so that's kind of what I mean.
Yeah, because if not, your seams get moved around, right?
Yeah, and I think I don't want to say it stretches your fabric, but it just, I don't know. Distorts, yeah. So here we can do the same thing. Draw these lines. Now I promise you, at home I don't do this, but I've been sewing a long time. But if you're new, this is going to really help you. And if you're having a bad day, it will also help you because it'll just take a lot of the guessing out.
Mm-hmm. From Michelle's Favorites, Kimberly, can you tell us if y'all will be getting in the magnetic pin cushions again and when? Love you guys.
These?
I think so. Because we have other versions of it, right, that aren't the Fat Quarter Shop one?
Yeah, we have, the Grabbit should be on order. I don't think the red with the logo, I don't think we have those on order. Mm-hmm. But the other ones we should have on order. And everything, I order everything every day, so I don't remember that item being out of stock. So I would think it would be soon, but I could be wrong. But I don't know if that's what she's asking about. Maybe it is.
Yes, let us know if it was about a different pincushion. And from Erica Gregorius, sorry, when using the triangle paper, I noticed the edge stitching coming out when pulling the paper. She used a 1.5 stitch length. Any tips?
Go shorter. Go to 1.3 or 1. Every sewing machine's different. I would go smaller. Mm-hmm. And I would use a size 90 needle. That would help too. Size 90 and shorter stitch length.
And if it's just at the edge, you could also make sure to stitch past the line.
Yes, that's a good one.
I only remembered because we filmed that tutorial this week.
So right here, this doesn't match exactly. So I'm going to pull that out. It doesn't match. So I'm going to pull that out and fix that. So I will pull my stitches from here to here and then just reposition and just redo that. Yeah, go past your lines a 1/4 inch on your paper.
And from Edna Cook, I had a WWKD, what would Kimberly do? While assembling my last quilt rows, I discovered my seams were pressed the wrong way. What should I have done?
I wouldn't repress them. I would just kind of just leave them. I don't know. But it made me laugh because I thought you were going to say WWE.
Oh.
Because, you know, this morning I heard that Matthew McConaughey is going to be on WWE.
What?
Yeah, he signed something. He can't say what he signed, and so I can't wait to tell my kids. But they don't. I don't think they know who Matthew McConaughey is. So I'm like, well, I don't know if they're going to care.
Yeah.
Because Snoop Dogg was on the other night.
Oh, okay.
Not on WWE, on a different. I don't know. My kids watch all this junk. It's horrible junk. It's really... Okay, it's not perfect, but it's going to stay. So it kind of went back the same way. I'm going to just leave it.
Oh.
I think it's fine.
Oh, and Michelle's Favorite says that she was asking about the red pin cushion that we use on camera.
Okay, yeah, so we didn't sell those that great, so we didn't reorder those. Oh. But it's the same thing as... It's called Grabbit, so it's the same exact Grabbit you can get in different colors. It just won't have our logo.
Yeah. Isn't the shape different as well?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It might be slightly, but I don't think so.
Okay.
You have to also, like, we have to buy like 500 or something. So if 500 of you want one, we can buy it again. It's just you have to buy in these huge numbers.
Yeah.
Now right here, I didn't clip my thread. And so this didn't go all the way flat, so that's why.
And Lawland SoCal. Remember Lolly 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 get your adverbs here? Hubby was taken to singing Jolly 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 get your fabric here whenever he sees Kimberly.
Oh my gosh,
That's
I don't know what
funny.
song that is though.
I don't know either. Where's that from?
Maybe it's a school.
Oh, okay.
So here I'm going to put my ruler just right on the edge and just clip off all these little slivers. This is optional, you don't have to. So that is my block 15.
Woohoo!
Oops, sorry. And I'm going to show you last week's block with it. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with these. And so I'm going to show you next. They're not exactly the same size. They're just an 16th of an inch off or 32nd of an inch off. And that's okay. Don't worry about that. So sometimes your blocks aren't going to be exactly the same size, and that's okay.
Oh, people are saying that song was from Schoolhouse Rocks?
Oh, I don't know. I think that's a movie, maybe. See, I don't know. I don't watch movies or anything like that, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was a show.
Now, next week's block is by Carrie Nelson. It's called Friendship. And it's going to be intensive because it's got 8 flying geese and 2 half square triangles. So this will take a lot longer next week. And this is what I meant about your seams touching and why we're pressing open, because you've got all of those seams to get. You don't want to have to worry about them not matching or butting up against each other.
From Anne-Marie 1380, what is a good solid color to use with Blooming Bunch?
I would say 9900-200, which I think we're out of, but we should be getting more any day. Color 200 or color 97. 98 would not work.
Then we had a super chat from Valeria Bauer for 1999, and Valeria says, "Thank you for making my Friday so special."
Thank you. Thank you for
Valeria.
watching.
Yes, we really appreciate it. And super chat from Lori Ehrenstoff for $25. Thank you, Lori.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Really appreciate it.
The one thing that I forgot to do that I'm going to do real quick is this. I'm going to iron this and then cut my leftover squares out of it.
Oh.
Real quick, because I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I know I'm forgetting something. So I can do that and answer questions. But yeah, I'm going to, and then I'll take them home and put them in my little buckets. So if you want to see what I'm talking about, just look at last week's.
Yes.
And I try to just get the most squares I can.
From Noreen Bushholtz, if your seams are pressed open, how do you stitch in the ditch when quilting the project?
You should not stitch in the ditch when you press open, because that will weaken your seams. So that is a very good point.
Sarah Abley says, did you get any snow?
Oh, we did. I got about 3 inches.
Woohoo.
It was fun. It's still cold though.
It is cold. It's windy.
It's really, and I have on this short sleeve shirt, but I'm kind of out of clothes. I don't have that many winter long sleeve shirts, you know what I mean? So like I have worn out everything I wear on camera. Like I don't need a bunch of clothes that are.
Yeah, it's not usual to have so much cold.
Yeah, I mean it was really nice. It was really pretty. I couldn't believe how pretty it was. Because sometimes in Texas when you get snow, it might come like ugly snow,
Yeah.
like dirty snow, I guess.
Yeah.
It was pretty. It was not dirty.
Yeah, like actually like stuck and
Yeah.
like, powdery everywhere.
Yeah, and then Kevin was trying to explain to me because I was using terms, and he was like, "That's not exactly correct." I'm like, "Okay, well, explain it to me," because he's from Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
He actually used to play hockey, so he knows a lot about all that. And he's like, "That's not technically blah blah." I'm like, "Okay, whatever. I'm good. I live in Texas. I don't need to know."
Oh.
I mean, it was interesting what he was telling me, but me and the kids still didn't understand what he was trying to say because he was trying to explain the difference between ice on the road and slush, and he was trying to explain like technical stuff, and we were like, okay, we're confused. And why it would be safe or not safe to drive, etc. So
Yeah, and I think the snow only stayed on the ground for like 24 hours about. It took
Yeah.
a whole day for it to melt off, and the next day it was back to being sunny.
yeah.
We had a new YouTube member, Shannon Thomas. Welcome, Shannon.
Thank you. And on the 19th, we are doing a live stream. That's next week, right?
That's next Tuesday.
We're doing a live stream on the new Moda, and we will also show it on Friday.
Yes. Woohoo. And then we had a super chat from Tracy Mangle for $2, and she put a little fox that's got a lot of hearts, and it looks like it's having a really good time.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. I'm super happy. And new YouTube member, Susie Conway. Welcome, Susie. And another new YouTube member, Laura Braziel. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you.
And then super chat from Lori Roth for $9.99, and she put a cute little fox saying, "Thank you."
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Oh, I like the little foxes and the little pears. They're all so cute.
I kind of wonder where they came up with that.
Yeah, right?
Like how they picked that out of everything.
Yeah, like why a fox? Why a pear? And the dancing pear, I think, tends to be the default, so that's the one that I'm like, oh, interesting. I picked a dancing pear. And then super chat from Seven and the Littlest Mew for $24.99. Thank you so
you.
much.
So you can see from this, I'm just cutting as many squares as I can. So I pretty much, when I get home, I'll put up, well actually I'll have one of my kids put them in the box. I have a little section where I just put them and then they have to come in and put them in the box.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
And then we had a super chat that just came in from Nellie Olson for $4.99, and Nellie says, "Have a latte on me."
Oh, thank you. I do need a hot chocolate.
Ooh.
I got woken up last night twice by one of my kids, so that's why I'm a little bit tired.
Oh.
And Kevin came in and he was like, "What is going on?" I'm like, "Oh, you don't want to know."
Oh.
I'm like, "Just go to your room. Go to your office. Go work. You're fine. Nothing to see here. It's just having a daughter." Okay. So I'll just keep these. These are the little squares that I keep in my little boxes that Lori taught me how to do. So that's what I have for now. And do you have any other questions before we go to the next section? Okay, I'm going to take a little break. We're going to kind of clean up. Lily's going to show you some cute stuff, and then we have more. We might have to take 2 breaks today, but we'll see. So I'm going to kind of move this, and I'll be right back.
Woo-hoo. First intermission. Woo. Intermission time. Woohoo. Woohoo. Intermission. Hello, everyone. My name is Lily. I am the voice behind the camera, as a lot of you already know. And today, the first thing I want to do is start kind of tidying as I tell you about some cool stuff. One thing we didn't get to show last week was the Shine On quilt along with Bonnie and Camille. Let me grab that real quick. And So Bonnie and Camille are doing a sew along that goes with their Bonnie and Camille Quilt Bee book. And as you can see, I have bookmarked the blocks that we're working on for January. Well, I say we, I'm not sewing along. I am not to the level where I can do multiple sew-alongs at one time. I am just starting my Nebula block of the month, so I will have to do this in a future time. But let me show you some cool things we have for it. There's a cool tote bag, and then a little needle minder. This one's really strong, I will say that. I had one click really hard once, and then it kind of snapped some things and broke some things. So just be careful with it, but it's super cute. It's a little sewing machine. And the blocks that they are working on, let me cut to top camera here. For January are the bloom block and the butterfly block and the celebrate block. So all of these on the quilt, kind of try to do a little cheat sheet for myself and fold the quilt up in a way that I would know where things were. And it kind of worked. So the bloom block, oh, the book closed on me. Stay over there, book. Bloom block is right here. And then this is the next block, which is the butterfly block. And then the celebrate block, hang on, it's right here. So those are the ones for January, and you can follow the Sew Along, Quilt Along with Bonnie and Camille on their Instagram. And that is the hashtag to use if you want to find all the cool stuff for it. Super cute stuff. To follow Camille, she is at Thimble Blossoms on Instagram, and Bonnie is at Cottonway on Instagram. So let me come back to front camera. That's the first thing I wanted to show you guys. Let me take that hashtag out. And that's the end of our first intermission.
Everyone loves your shirt. They think you look great in blue.
Oh, thank you. It's from that online thrift shop called ThreadUp. Yes, love it. I think it's also Zara brand if you want something similar. End of first intermission.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to bring this chair. And then can we move all this?
Yes.
Let me see. I'm going to move this. Okay. I have a ton of stuff to show you now, and you'll just have to ignore this mess over here. We have a ton. The thing is packed. Okay, so I'm going to show you some new paper that we have that's designed by Lori Holt. And it's called Sparkle Star. And it comes in 6-inch and 12-inch pads. And they're part of our foundation paper series. And if you buy these papers, when you flip the lid, it gives you what you need to cut on both sides. So you just want to make sure you don't throw away the lid. And then this large one has size guides if you want to make bigger quilts. And on this paper, you start with a big piece here. So this is fat quarter friendly for this big piece. And this one is layer cake friendly with this big piece. And then you add, oh, this one also has a size guide. This is my extra paper that fell out at home. So I'm going to show you a couple of different things you can do with this paper. It's awesome, and we did a video on Tuesday. We published it yesterday, and I'm going to show you, I got so excited about this paper, I went home and did stuff with it. And I want to show you kind of the versatility of it. So doing an angle like this, I guess it would be called an angle, you would need a specialty ruler or something, you know, you'd have to cut a bunch and it'd be a lot of work. And so this paper is great because this paper cannot be done unless you have a specialty ruler or something like that. So these are designed by Lori Holt. They make 6 and 12-inch blocks, and I'm going to show you a couple of different things you can do with it. So on the cover of this, we have a small quilt and a medium quilt. So I'm going to show you those first, and I'm going to give you some different ideas. So this is the small one. The small quilt was made by Crystal and quilted by Mike. Mike is mylongarm.com. Can we zoom out a tiny bit? There, thanks. Okay, so this one is just the 6-inch paper here, trimmed down, and this is Flea Market fabric by Lori, and this is just a plain white. Now I'm going to show you some detail. If you zoom in, there are points here, and you can choose to line them up or not. It doesn't matter. So these are not lined up and this one is, and you would have never even noticed. So it's not really necessary to line those up because that's not the goal of it. But the paper is meant for you to be able to line those up if you want. So this is Flea Market. This would finish at 18 inches square. So there's this one, and then you can see that when we worked on this one, this is a darker fabric on the center and then a lighter fabric on the stars. Of course, you can do different, which is what I'm going to show you. Now on this one, this is the same exact quilt. Look, it's the same exact quilt, just not quilted. So I'm going to put this one over here, and I'm going to show you something you can do. With this, you can either take off the paper before you piece it into your block, which is what I do, or you can leave it on and then remove it after, and that's what Lily does, right, Lily?
Yes.
So it depends kind of, you know, what kind of style you are, how your brain works. And the paper is super easy to come off. You would just, it's easiest if you kind of do the bigger piece first, and then the smaller pieces will come off later. So that's just to show you that. But I want to show you, if you take this and you want it to be smaller, this is 18 inches. You could put a square ruler on top and cut around it, and you would have a smaller quilt, and those stars would show up more. So I'll show you kind of what that would look like if you, like a mock. It's just an idea, and you could save this leftover edging as binding. Trim it down into binding. So you could get a totally different look by doing this. And this would be like a pillow, like you could do a 12-inch pillow. So see, you get a totally different look if you do that. You could also do this as white, and then you would just have star points on the outside. So there's a ton of stuff you can do with this paper. So I wanted to show you that. And then I want to show you the 12-inch blocks put together. So this would be 36 inches, and Lily made this one. She's gonna woo woo woo. And Mike quilted it, and Mike is at mylongarm.com. And we use the same exact fabrics.
Yeah.
And the same back, I think. And this is Flea Market by Lori Holt. And you can see that all of these matched up. And I talked to Lily, and Lily said she didn't even know you were supposed to. So you don't have to worry about it. And we have a video on how to work with this paper that we just released. I'm going to show you some different things you can do with it. So when you make your stars, there's different ways you can make. This one is a single. Well, I'll show you here. This has a single point. So think about how easy this is to make. It's so easy. This is a single point. So I'm basically making the same thing you just saw. These have 2 points. That's going to create that star. So you could do that, and then this has the 4 points to create the star. So that is one thing you could do. You could do, let's see, you could do just like this, and you could do, hold on. This is what we said. Let's see. I think we could do 2 more. No. So you could do, there we go. You could just do a long farmhouse table and go this way and just calculate how many singles, how many doubles, and you wouldn't need any of these. But if you wanted to, you could do this. You could make it really long. And that's actually the same thing we already had, but I'm saying you could continue the table runner by adding stars here. Yes. And you could just keep going. So that is super awesome, but I wanted to show you, this is with the big, like a print on the big piece, but I'm going to show you what it looks like with the background and the background, because Lily hasn't even seen it.
Ooh, I haven't.
She hasn't seen it. I hid it from her. So this is what I sewed. It took me about 4 hours. Can you grab those scissors real quick? Because I'm about to whack those off the table. Sorry. So you whacked them off. Okay, so now she can show the front camera. Yes. So this, I use 12-inch blocks, and it's 60 inches square. It's so pretty. Yeah. And me and Lori worked on it together. And I'm going to show you some up-close things and talk you through some of the things that worked for me.
They remind me of piñatas.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me of the time that I wish I had a camera. One time my kids had a piñata, and they, it was during quarantine, and so for their birthday, they couldn't have a birthday party, so they wanted a piñata. Oh. Emma hit Kevin so hard. Oh. It was on total accident, but it was so funny. Wow. We were both laughing.
Oh no.
So you can see here, I did make my points match up. This is the 12-inch paper flea market collection. When I trimmed my blocks, I did use this to make it go quicker. So when I had all my paper on it, I just put this on the lines that say trim and trimmed. That made it easier. I did use I had to, on the bigger one, you need to add a 1/4 plus, that's longer. Mm-hmm. The one that we showed in the video is 6 inches, but on the longer paper, you do need this one. And the thing that was magic for me is using this glue pen to glue down this fabric. So on the back, what I did, there's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I put glue here in the 4 corners. And I glued this to the back of all my background squares, and then I started going, and this worked great. What I'm going to do is send this to Gina. I don't even know if I've told her yet. And she's at Thread Graffiti.
Yes, she's in the chat.
Yay! Did I tell you I was sending this to you? I don't know. Hopefully my pen gets back. Okay, so what I thought we could do, because Gina's amazing, this is going to be my binding. Now this fabric that I used is 9711-Cottage. It's part of the Prim Bee background, so it's a newer bee background. And then this is all from the flea market. But I thought, since I've got blue here, I want to bring in other colors, so I picked red and pink, because of course I love red and pink. So you can envision that on the binding. And then I pulled this from my stash of rickrack, and I think that will look good right in there. And one thing you could do on this, if you didn't want it so big, you could trim this off. Oh. And you could come up with a smaller quilt, and you could save that, you know, all those little, so you could do that on the edge. So there's a lot of things you can do by changing these two fabrics, backgrounds and prints, reversing them, and cutting down. So that is my front. So I think it took me about 4, maybe 5 hours. I doubt 5, but 4. And I did this. This is where this was after I got the phone call about my credit card being skimmed. Oh. So this is 108-inch wide. Now I am using the leftovers to make this. I used my leftovers from the Quilting Life Block 1. So I started with half yard cuts. So I just pulled this from that. I didn't have to buy anything. This I already had at home. I don't know why, I just liked this aqua. But I did have to buy this. This is 108 inch wide. So since my quilt is 60 inches, I cut this 70 inches square. But I didn't want to have to sew in my label, so I put this on my ironing table. I don't know what I was doing, but this is supposed to be on there square. It is totally crooked. So I told Lily I was going to just pretend I put it on crooked to match the the stars, and we're going to pretend, but I put it on crooked. What I did is this is one of my new labels that came in my Sweetwater Club. I added the same fabric that's my binding to the edge, folded it under with a hot hem ruler, and then if you zoom in, Lily, you can see that I stitched it down with red thread. And I put this Stitch Witchery, this is how I store it. Stitch Witchery is very, it's hard to keep in one place, so I try not to take it out of the package because it kind of goes everywhere. It's little strips of double-sided fusible, basically, and I just put those around the edge. So once I got this down and realized it was crooked, I couldn't take it off because I had the Stitch Witchery in there and I had stitched it. So you're going to have I'm going to have a crooked back. But that's okay. So that's the first thing I was going to show you, and I made that. So that's my first quilt for 2021.
Ooh.
And I'm sorry that I put that on backwards. I'm apologizing to myself because it really bothers me.
Oh, okay. I was like, who are you saying sorry to?
I'm apologizing it because it just really, I can't stand that. That like about ruined my day. Because I was just like, what was I thinking? And then I thought, well, I'll just pull it off. And I thought, no, I can't. I have all that stuff on there.
All right, lots of people are wondering why you need to use the glue.
Okay, so I'm going to actually demo it.
Ooh.
You don't have to, but I'll show you how much easier it is. But I need some fabric, so can we find some scrap?
Yeah.
Um,
In the drawer behind you.
okay, let me put this right here.
All the way on your left. In that basket.
Okay, we'll see if this might be big enough. It might not be. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna iron it real quick. Okay, so this is just a scrap piece of fabric. It might not be big enough. It's not. Let me see.
There's lots of stuff in there.
It's okay. I'll just demo it on the small and you'll see. It'll be close enough. So when you're working with this 12-inch paper, it's really big. So I'm trying to think if I have any other fabric here that would work. This will work. No, it won't. Yes, this might work.
Woohoo!
It does.
Yay!
Okay. I was like, I know there's something in there. I'll show you. So when you put your paper down, assume this is ironed. Your square is going to be a little bit bigger, so I'll cut that down. Okay, now I'm going to find my tools that I put somewhere else.
I got those.
The pink ones, I need that.
Wait, oh, those I don't know.
Here it is. Okay. So one thing is, once you pull your paper off, if you do all these creases first, it's going to save you time later. So you could do, say you're going to do 4 points. Just crease all these. at one time. Now, if you just put this on here and you're working with it, see, it's a lot. It's pretty big. So if you do this, it will stick. I was surprised at how good it stuck. So this is actually Sue Daly's, I think. No, this is Sue Line. Okay. Sue Daly also has one. They're the exact same product. She has Sew Line make hers. So, and I know these probably sell out a lot, but we have more on order. We also have more of the 12.5-inch ruler on order. So see, it stays. So then you can stack all 15. I was making 25, so I did all 25 at one time. And then when I go over here to pull this off, I just go boop, boop, boop. And that is gonna come, that doesn't matter. That glue is gonna go away. Yeah. So that's how I made mine. And then look, it sticks again. It sticks back. Not that you need it to, but it really will hold it down. Yeah. Of course you could do less glue. I just kind of do whatever. Yeah. So that's what I found worked best. Now, I don't think if I was doing the 6-inch, I don't think you would need to as much.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. And then we had a super chat from Donna Donna Quartararo for $15. And Donna says, love everything about Fat Quarter Shop. Thanks for all your hard work, Kimberly.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun doing that quilt. I thought, I want to do something different because that paper has so many options, and I can come on the camera and say, oh, just switch it in the background. It's hard to see. And it looks so pretty with that big border. And I think it would make a cute baby quilt, even for a boy. Like a boy, like with blue and gray, it would look so good.
Yeah. And we had a new YouTube member, Laurel Chambers. Welcome, Laurel. And then before we move on, a couple of questions from Teresa McMath. She was asking if you assembled the Quilt Bee sampler.
Yeah.
Okay. And
the Quilt Bee, the one that you showed?
Yeah,
I made that.
That was Kimberly's that I showed. Mm-hmm. And then she says, I am catching up and figure the only person OCD enough to get all the white rainbows going the right way would be Kimberly. I gave up on the bee block.
Yeah, if I had to redo that quilt, I wouldn't make those rainbows go the same way. It wasn't worth it. In the end, there is one square in that quilt where they're not going the right way. Oh. One square. Because I had to pull some, I can't remember exactly what. It was like a corner. I think I had missed a fabric. So I had to pull it out, and then when I put it back, I didn't do it, and I'd already sewn in the quilt by the time and I just said, okay, that was ridiculous.
And Pam Taylor said, do you have to wash out the glue?
No, I don't. So we have 2 new books I wanted to talk about. The first one is Among the Stars. This is an old It's Sew-Emma pattern that I designed a long time ago, like probably 15 years ago before I had kids. We redesigned it a little bit. We changed the border. So we have 3 items with this. We have the book that you can pre-order, and that comes in April. Or you can sign up for one of these block of the months. On the left, we have Pumpkins and Blossoms by Fig Tree. That's one option. On the right, we have Christmas Morning by Layla Boutique. That's a second option. And if you sign up for the block of the month, the book does come with the block of the month. So don't order that separately. But if you want to pick your own fabrics, then you would just pre-order the book. We also have backing sets for both of those. And in the quilt, you make 6 8-inch blocks. And those 8-inch blocks are in the corners and in the middle on the side. And all of those blocks, can you go back? So those blocks are actually all exactly the same. They're just different fabric. So it looks different, but it's not. And then those bigger blocks are 12 inches, and you make 12 of those. You make 2 of the same block each month in different fabrics. So months 1 through 6, you make 2 12-inch blocks each month. Month 7, you make the 6 8-inch blocks. And month 8, you do the finishing, which is the outside border. Mm. But we have wonderful sample makers who have, and this is kind of like the cover of the book. And I'll flip through a little, I'm going to flip through. This is like how we have the fabric requirements, and this is how your book will look. This is our first draft. This has no photos in it. And this is kind of how we start with our books. So you can see this will all have lots of stuff in it. So basically if you buy the book and you don't want to do one of these looks, you can just look and say, okay, this fabric, I'm going to sub, I need this much fabric. So I'm going to show you each of them block by block, just so you can see the blocks to see if you're interested. I would say this is an intermediate quilt. These blocks right here, this is Pumpkins and Blossoms by Fig Tree, and Gina Tell of Thread Graffiti made all of these. These are Christmas Morning by Layla Boutique, and Teresa made all of these. So what I was thinking would look good is if I did this and just showed you side by side. And these are the 8 blocks, the 6 blocks that are 8 inches. And you can see, look, different people, different seam allowances. In the end, it's going to look great. It's not going to matter because it's 2 different machines, different thread, different techniques. And I really wanted to show the blocks before we got these sewn into quilts, just so you could see how pretty it is, and then you can decide, you know, which one you like. I think one of the comments we got on this was it's hard to tell it's hard to pick. So if I'm showing, then it might be easier for you to pick. And you can see this one this uses the white on white from the collection. And this one uses a cream on cream from the collection. And this one, it's hard to tell, but there's little, not pumpkins, but blooms, and this one has dots. You can kind of see it, right, Lily?
Yeah.
Kind of.
It shows up.
You can see the dot. It's harder to see this one.
And I don't know if you already said it, who made the blocks?
Yes, I did. So Gina made these and Teresa made these. So I'm going to set these aside, and then we're going to do the bigger blocks. And when we do the photo shoot, what we'll do is Lily goes to the photo shoot. When we come back and do a live stream, she'll show you photos from the photo shoot.
A little behind the scenes.
And this is like little deer. And I don't think I've ever seen deer in Joanna's fabrics before. And this is my favorite print from the collection, this little star.
Gina Tell says she also didn't starch, so that is also a difference.
Yeah, and in the end, it'll be totally fine. Nobody will know the difference. Everyone's seam allowance, too, is different on different machines. So you can see these are both beautiful quilts. We couldn't decide when we were designing this which one to kit, so we just said we'll do both. So one is going to be on the cover, and one will be on the back cover. So one will be on the front cover, and one will be on the back cover. And we're going to send these all back today, and then they're going to put them into the big quilt. I think that border is going to be gorgeous. And so these, again, it's a book, it's a block of the month. We colored the 2 block of the months. And with our block of the months, once we sell out, we sell out. We don't add back. But the book we will always have, if that makes sense. And there's pretty doves. I tried to make them go the right way. And this uses half square triangle paper, so we can actually, in the book, we can make a note to list what, can you write that down?
Oh, yes.
That will list in the book which triangle paper will work on each block. Can you tell Sarah that? So that is called Among the Stars again. Again, the book is going to ship in April, but the block of the months will ship in June. And it's a 7 or 8 month program. And all the pricing and everything is on our site. And thank you to our sample makers. They're so pretty. So pretty. And then we have another book. And it is called A Scrapbook of Quilts. And we're super, super, super excited about this one. It is going to release in May. And the designers of that book are Joanna Figueroa and Carrie Nelson of Miss Rosie's Quilts. And it is a scrap quilt. And it uses 6 different blocks. And it's all scrappy. And we're going to show every quilt next week. We don't have all the quilts yet, so I wanted to wait and show it all at once. And we're also going to have a photo shoot for that one. And we will show behind the scenes on that also. So let me know if you have any questions on those two books.
Life as a Mom said, I need a larger ruler for quilting. Would you recommend the 12-inch square or the 9.5-inch square?
12-inch. Because with the 12-inch, here's my 12-inch. I need to make sure I take it home. So with the 12-inch, you can cut 12-inch. But you can also cut 9.5 by, let me show you this. So if you needed 9.5 this way, you could get the 9.5. I mean, assume this is longer. You know, just imagine, and it's also hard to see because of the darkness, but you can always still get a 9.5 from a 12.5, but you can't get a 12.5 from a 9.5. So I would say that would be more bang for your buck.
And are both the books we just showed layer cake friendly?
The first book is fat quarter friendly, I believe. I'm trying to find where I put the book. It's just all over yardage. So it would be like using half yards would probably be easier. So it's probably more half yard friendly. Now you could do fat quarter friendly and do more fabrics. And the second book is all scrappy. So it's going to use all kinds of different pre-cuts. And I'm going to talk about in depth next week, like every quilt, who made it, what fabric, you know, and it's not fabric collection because it's all scrappy. And the great thing about it is Joanna and Carrie have a totally different look. And so the quilt's going to appeal to everyone because it's kind of got a look for everyone, if that makes sense.
And then we had new YouTube member join, Ivelisse Isaias. Welcome, Ivelisse.
Thank you.
And then a super chat from Georgia Henchera for $4.99.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So when we talked about the sew-alongs, we've got 2 sew-alongs going now. This is our Best Friends Quilt-Along. It's with me and Lori Holt, and it uses our foundation paper, the first 4, which is Log Cabin, Economy, Pineapple, and Courthouse Steps. Now, I just showed you sparkle. So I'm sure in the future we will do something like this with the sparkle paper also. So last week was week 1, and these are the Log Cabin blocks that I made. I am going to be combining my blocks with Lori's blocks, and we are going to auction that quilt for Make-A-Wish. And we can show Lori's blocks for this week now. Those are her economy blocks, and that is on her ironing table. So she uses that fabric to cover her ironing table. So those are her blocks. I'm going to show you mine. And we did put all the backgrounds in the same spot. And we just made sure we didn't use the same fabric. We're using her B Basics and B Backgrounds. And so this week, your goal is to make 8 of these. And this is on our blog. And you can see that I made 4 and she made 4. And we're going to auction that off when we're done. And I have not pulled my paper off, but that's one thing I could do this weekend is pull all the paper off. Because I will pull the paper off before I sew it together. So that's my first sew-along that we're working on. The second sew-along for this week is by Joanna again. So this is her quilt kit. This is a pattern called Stitchery Sampler. And it comes in the kit, or you can get it separately. And Joanna is doing videos on YouTube on this, and she is hosting the sew-along on her blog and her Facebook group. So this was week 1. This is week 2. I'm going to actually take these home and start adding my sashing. So I need to remember to do that. So what I did is applique, and I'm so proud of myself because I did applique. Woo-hoo. So I'm going to talk you through what I did, but I'm going to be totally honest and tell you I am not good at applique, so you should refer to everyone else besides me, because this is called Make It Up As You Go. So what I did is I got this Heat and Bond light. I always use the light because I don't want anything too heavy on here. So I drew my petals that are in the pattern on here. And then I put 4 of them on the back of each fabric. I did not use steam. When I laid this out, I just, I cut it bigger, like I cut it 12.5 and then trimmed it down after. But I basically tried to leave about 5/8 of an inch between the petals here. And then that came out about right. The needles that I used are size 70 Microtex because they're smaller and so you won't see your holes as much. And I used 80 weight thread on top, so I tried to match my thread on top. I already had these threads. Now, the one that did not look good is I used white on these 2. I originally did this with red thread and it looked horrible, so I unpicked it and redid it with white. And on the back, so on the front, this is 80 weight Aurifil thread that is made for applique. You could also hand applique these. This is machine appliqued with fusible. On the back, I used white, except when I got to the red, when I was doing the red, the white poked through to the front, so I unstitched that. So Lily can zoom in and show you kind of what I did. Oops. And I have all of these 80 weights at home, so I didn't buy anything. I just found what matched. So yeah, I'm definitely no expert on applique. And you know, this might fray. I did stitch right to the edge, and the stitch length I used was a 1.75. And again, 80 weight on the top, 50 weight on the bottom. So good luck with your applique. This is my one applique event for 2021. I can say that in January I did applique and I don't have to do it the rest of the year.
Woohoo.
I am proud of myself for doing it. It did take me quite a long time to get this lined up, and it really, I did use friction pen and kind of drew lines and you know where to place it, and then obviously the friction lines went away. But I am super proud of myself. I mean, you can see that it's not perfect. I mean, this one is not exactly the same as that one, and it might not even be laid out exactly how she had it. I just made it work, but this probably took me 3 hours. So in the time that I made the sparkle quilt is how long it took me to do this, because I'm so nervous about working with applique. But I'm proud of myself for doing it. I will say block 4, which is right here, is English paper piecing, and I'm not doing that. I'm doing something different.
Ooh.
And when I come next week, I'm actually going to have this block done, and I'm going to sew it all into the whole top, and I'm going to have the whole top done.
Nice.
Just to show you that you can, as you go, you can keep adding, so that I can go ahead and cut all this out and kind of prep doing the flying geese. Now doing this flying geese, it's a lot of work. So what I will do is I'll do a little bit each week, and then it's not so tedious. And I'll probably sew my 5 sashing rows together now, and then just add as I go.
I have a few questions about your applique.
Okay.
From AZD, is your applique raw edge or turned?
Raw edge. So I took this paper, drew the line, ironed it with no steam on the back of the fabric, the wrong side of a fabric, cut it out with sharp scissors, placed it down, and then I placed each and ironed each one down separately.
And
Because once you iron it down, you can't really pick it back up, if that makes sense.
And did you machine stitch or hand stitch?
I machine stitched using the needles I just showed you, and I used a 1.75 stitch length, 80 weight thread on the top and 50 on the bottom, and I would say that's about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. And one thing that I did do, if you start in the center, if you follow my finger, you will not have to cut your thread one time. So you start in one of these and you applique here, 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 and then cut your thread. So you can see, and now you can see on this red one, I kind of had a little bit of I was struggling with the red for some reason, but you can see that I only have, on the rest of them, I only had to stop once. The red, I don't know, it was giving me business.
And you just did a straight stitch, right?
Straight stitch, 1.75 straight stitch. And I used orange thread, white thread, red thread, yellow thread, green thread, white thread, gray thread, white thread. And on this one, I did use white thread. No, I used light blue thread. But like I said, test it out and just do it as you feel comfortable. I did this in red thread, like this one. It looked horrible. So I just pulled it all out. And when I pulled the stitches out, especially with applique, pull them out from the back, because then it doesn't rip up any of your fabric up here. So if you have to pull out applique, just do it from the back.
And I'm going to super zoom in
Okay.
so we can see your stitches.
Okay.
So catch focus. There we go.
And I'll turn it over so you can see kind of where I start and stop. Now my machine, because I use a Juki, doesn't have a tack stitch. So I just back stitched 2 stitches in the front and the back, and then I just, when it clipped off, I don't trim it at all. I just leave it just like the machine has it. So again, I used my regular color 2000 on the back, except on my red one, because my red one, the white was pulling through to the front, and you can see I had a little bit of some issues.
And then question from Debbie Hubert. Can the orange peel template be used for this?
I don't think it would be the exact same size as hers,
Yes.
so I would say no.
Okay.
You could make a template though with, you could get some, it's called like template plastic, and we sell it, and I
Yes.
think it's called template plastic.
Yes.
And you could make your own template. I have never used it. I just used this because it was the easiest.
Yes, it is template plastic. It's exactly that.
Is it?
Yeah, template
But-
plastic gypsy quilter.
Yeah, and I have no experience with it, so I don't know what you would cut it with, but I would say definitely refer to Joanna. This is her design. She's great at applique. We also have some applique videos by Jill Finley. I'm no expert in applique. This should not have taken me 3 hours. I could have made a whole baby quilt, but I really wanted to show that I could do it. But then when I got to English paper piecing, I was like, oh, I'm done. We're not doing English paper piecing.
And then a few common questions we're getting is it going to fray as time goes
It might,
on?
but I don't wash my quilts. And I know that's gross, and I know some of you have said, like, oh, that's so dirty, but that's okay. You should see my house. My house is clean. You can ask Lily.
It's true.
It's perfectly clean at all times. When I
Yes.
come home, it's clean.
Yeah.
They have to clean the house. My kids make my bed. I know that's horrible, but they have nothing else to do. They don't have to go to school. They don't have recess. It's just like a complete chaos. So they actually I have one son that he loves to clean. So that's part of his, one kid does all the trash all week. One, you know what I mean? Like they all have something they like to do. So, yeah, my house is always clean. I'm pretty meticulous. It's funny because one time, well, this is not funny. One time my chandelier broke,
Oh, I remember that.
and it basically, luckily nobody was in the house. It fell. Glass was everywhere. And I had to take a picture for insurance because I thought, well, I don't know if we're going to need this I don't know. And then I sent it to some of my friends, and they're like, your house is so clean. I was like, well, I'm glad it's clean now because glass was everywhere. Like, ooh, that was a doozy.
And then a few people are also asking how come you didn't use a blanket stitch?
Oh, okay, because that's really small. So when you look at it, that would be a lot of, are we right here? So like you would have to pivot a lot, and I don't trust myself to do it good enough. Now I can tell you the person who does that great is Debbie Taylor. She used to work here, and she is a magician with that blanket stitch. I just knew that it was going to look ugly. But I do think it would look good if you're somebody who's comfortable with doing it and turning. I'm just not, but I do think a blanket stitch would look really good. I just don't trust myself. Plus these are really small. If they were bigger, maybe I would trust myself. But this is like baby steps. Baby steps.
And why 80 weight thread?
Okay, so 80 weight thread is made for applique. It is made for either hand or machine applique, and I'm going to try to show it to you next to a 50 weight. You could do 50 weight also. 50 weight is thicker. So you can kind of see the difference. It's thicker. And because I'm not great at stitching, I don't want my stitches to show. So I'm trying to hide my stitches by matching the color and doing a thinner thread. And I love the 80 weight for applique. Even though I don't do it very often, I really like it. Now, if you put 80 weight on the top and 80 weight on the bottom, I don't know how that would work. I didn't want to wind the bobbins with this and waste my thread since, I just didn't want to. So the 50 weight worked. Now, one thing that I did do is before I did this, I did a practice. I took like a white fabric and some, leftover fabrics, and I just did like one peel and thought, okay, does that look good? Figured out what stitch length I wanted. So.
All right, and then Tracy Strobel brought up the question of if you would do a raffle instead of an auction because you might make more money that way for the other quilts that you're auctioning.
Yeah, I have seen that, and I think that that's something that we can consider in the future. I don't know of a way to do it online. I don't like eBay as a service, but they don't do raffles. And so if there's like some kind of raffle system out there that the money could go directly to Make-A-Wish, because that's the thing, we don't want the money coming to us at all. We want it to go directly to Make-A-Wish. And eBay already has a partnership where Make-A-Wish is connected to eBay. But I do think it's a great idea. I think we would have to incorporate that in the future. So that is that. I have some other stuff.
Oh, also, what are you drinking?
Hot chocolate.
The drink magically appeared.
The drink magically appeared because I needed some energy. So somebody really nice who doesn't like to be talked about on video went and got it for me.
Oh.
Okay, so I want to show you some other stuff. One thing that we do pride ourselves on at Fat Quarter Shop is providing a lot of free patterns. This is our free pattern for Valentine's Day this year. We have several others. We used Bella Solids in our quilt kits. The kits are sold out because 2 of the pinks are sold out for right now. We should have more kits later, but you can make your own kit. And we have a mini quilt that's 12 inches and a wall hanging that's 35. You need 8 different colors for here. And this is the mini. Nova made this one.
And quilted it.
And she quilted it and she bound it. And then this one we're auctioning off, and this one was made by both me and Nova. So it was a group effort. And we're auctioning this off for Make-A-Wish right now. And the quilt was pieced by me and Nova, and Gina quilted it and bound it. And it's got pink on the back. It doesn't have a label on it. We could add one if the person who wins it would like one. So we're auctioning this off, and it's a free pattern. So if you want something for Valentine's Day, this is something great that you could just pull fabrics from your stash and have fun making this. It does use the H300 triangle paper. So we would love for you to bid on that. And then I wanted to also show you, we have a free cross stitch pattern. And this is our cross stitch pattern. We have a cross stitch floss tube YouTube channel. It's called Fat Quarter Shop Floss Tube. And we did a video coming up with how to incorporate the cross stitch into this. And it's a pillow.
So cute.
So I just wanted to show you that you could subscribe to that YouTube channel, but you can also just get this pattern free. And of course you could do this and just frame it, or you don't have to put it into a pillow. And then I also wanted to let you know, can you grab all the new stuff?
Yep.
I wanted to also show this. See, this is me like throwing my thread. It got put there. This is a cross stitch done by Priscilla Blaine of Stitching with the Housewives. So, what was I don't even know what I was saying. Stitching with the Crosswives. Okay, sorry. Stitching with the Housewives. We're auctioning this off for Make-A-Wish. And this is our 2020 Bloomtopia cross stitch. And we're auctioning it off in 2021. And all of the money will go directly to Make-A-Wish. So we would love for you to bid on this also.
So pretty.
Yes, and so lovely for her to allow us to auction that off. I did bid, I will tell you.
Oh.
I'm outbid now though. I don't know my eBay. Is it eBay? We're using eBay, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like I'm not getting notifications from them on
when someone
outbids me. So I was like, oh, I got outbid.
Oh no.
Okay, so I still have more. Y'all are still with me.
That's why we need the hot chocolate.
Yes. So we got this new item. I'm very, very, very excited about this. So this is a bolt, and it's called My Favorite Color is Moda. And this has Bella Solids with the name. This is digitally printed, so you wouldn't want to use this to match your fabric because it's not going to be an exact match. This is running yardage. I don't think the panels have arrived yet, but this is running yardage, and I love it. So we put together a lot of stuff for you guys with our free videos. So this is a free video called WIP Bag, Easy WIP Project Bag. WIP stands for Work in Progress. So we put Bella Solids here. We use the Chartreuse by Annie zipper here, and we use this for the inside. So if you want something to do with this, you can make this. I really want to make something this weekend with it. I haven't decided what, so if y'all want to comment and let me know what I should make, that would be great. We have this bag right here that holds all this lovely stuff. It's called the La Connor Tote. Jara Brandevig did a video for us, and she was a Lucian designer, and we just noticed that she's now an E.E. Shank designer.
Woohoo!
And her next collection is reds with a touch of yellow.
Oh, go Jara.
We just saw it. It's beautiful. So this is a free tutorial, and you could be carrying around all your Bella Solids. This is a face mask using the Creative Grids face mask template. So this is the only one that you would need the template. The rest are all free videos. And someone did ask what fabric they would put on the back. We just put Bella Solids, but if you wanted something thicker, there's some antimicrobial fabric you could put back here. And then this is the single scoop zipper bag that Dana Willard filmed for us a long time ago. And it's so cute. And this is a iridescent cool zipper, and they're out of stock, but we have them on order. We've had them on order forever, but look, it makes a rainbow. We're just waiting for them to come back in stock.
That's so pretty.
I know, it's so cute. And then by Annie, when she videoed with us a long time ago, she made some Petit Four baskets, and we made them using this fabric. And these are all free videos. The only one that uses something that is not a free video is the Creative Grids mask template. But we just wanted to take some of our older videos and show you what you can do, and that's a great way to just think about all the videos that we have online, and if you want to use up some of your scraps you already have, we have a multitude of free videos online that you already have access to, that you won't have to worry about you know, buying a pattern, that kind of thing. But I'm excited. I don't know what I'm going to make, so y'all should comment and tell me what you want me to make for myself. Thanks.
Yeah.
So let me know if you have any questions on that, and then I have a bunch of new stuff. I'm like a teacher. Look, I look like a teacher. I'm going to go home and tell my kids, I look like a teacher today.
That's funny. Yeah, you can go ahead and show me items.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is on our cross stitch floss tube channel. We do a lot of sew-alongs where we write in what we're working on each day, and we had requests for printable PDF calendar. So we made a PDF calendar for January through December 2021. You can download it free at Fat Quarter Shop, and you can use this for quilting, and you could put your goals on each day and hang this up in your sewing room, and it's cute. It's got the needle, so it would match your sewing room. And I'll show you a couple of these, but this is just something that we did for the floss tube. And we thought that it would be great to show you because you can use it for quilting also. And it's free. I mean, what's better than free? See, you can use the Wonder Clips as an office tool.
Oh.
We have some brand new triangles on a roll paper, and I have been wanting this for ages, and I'm so excited. It is for 1/2 inch finished. So if you're crazy like me and want to make tiny, tiny, tiny half square triangles, we finally have the paper for it. So this came in December, but I'm so excited because this was really, sometimes things get made at Fat Quarter Shop just because I need them. So this was like, okay, I need them. Even if it doesn't ever sell and it only sells to me, I will be happy. We also made, these are so cute. Okay, I have talked about this throughout the videos. I have never been able to get a square and a square block right. I don't know what it is. I can do a flying geese, but square and a square I've always struggled with. So we made this paper where 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch. So if you want to use foundation paper, you can make it using our paper. And again, this was selfishly made for me because I struggle with for whatever reason, this block I always struggle with. And so I selfishly made these for myself. There's 42 in each pad. And so those are new. And we actually got requests for flying geese. So we made these different sizes, 1 by 2, 1.5 by 3, 2 by 4, and 3 by 6. That would be your finished size. And we are going to have some videos coming up to show you how to use this. But for the flying geese paper, you use one fabric for this fabric 1, and then you add these. And so you make 2 with the same background at the same time. And then you can change, you know, what you want here.
That's so cute.
I know. So I don't have trouble making flying geese. So if you don't have trouble making flying geese, you wouldn't need this. This was just something that we kept getting requests for. So I thought, well, we'll just make it and see how it does. I'm so excited about my square and a square though. I already used the whole pad. I did on future stuff. We got these new needle cases, and they're really cute.
They're magnetic.
They're magnetic, and I've been using them for 6 months because we've had these in the building for, well, I had samples, prototypes.
Yes.
So when you open it, it's magnetic. I should have brought mine. But basically, you put your needles in it, and you can label on the back. You can use some of Lori Holt's stickers and spell out, like, your needle. You can spell out binding or whatever kind of needle you have in here. And there's 4 colors. And I have been using these forever.
There's 3 colors.
3 colors. What'd I say?
4.
Oh, sorry. I meant 3. I don't know where. I never meant to say 4. So they're really cute.
Yes, they are.
And so if you put your, let me see. I'm trying to find some needles. And here's some pins right here. Hold on. So there you go. So if you do that and you go like that, they stick and they don't come out. So this is, I mean, it's not meant for pins, but it's the same concept. And then we have this brand new Sew Day enamel needle minder by Lori Holt.
Yes.
It matches her Sew by Row quilt pattern and her Sew by Row cross stitch. And we have a block of the month with this. So we decided to make this to go with both of those items. And we are doing, like I just showed you, the Stitches from My Heart, the free pattern. We made these bags to go with them, and they're mesh bags. We originally did these for the cross stitch industry, but we're finding that more and more quilters are using them. They stand up.
Ooh.
And it's a mesh. You could cross stitch on it. And so we have that one, but Lori wanted one for quilting.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, so this is the one that Lori wanted, because what she's gonna do, and she's gonna do a video on it, but I can tell you, I already know what she's gonna do. So it will stand up,
Oh.
but you can put your design board with all your blocks, and like say you have stacks and stacks of blocks, and then you put a rubber band around it, and they're all together.
Stick it in.
Put them in there.
Wow.
And then when you go to your retreat, everything is very, so this is for quilting, and it's so cute. It's called the Big Dotty bag.
Big Dotty.
The Big Dotty. That'd be a cute shirt.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That'd be a cute shirt. And remember, we have a YouTube members only live stream on the 19th,
Tuesday.
which is Tuesday. And next week I'm going to get to show you a trunk show of the brand new Joanna and Miss Rosie book. I'm going to show you some of our Moda pre-cuts and some more fig tree blocks and Socialite 16.
All right. Questions that we hadn't gotten to. Crafting a Plan Life said Kimberly should make a dress from the My Favorite Color is Moda.
Oh, I don't know how to do a dress. Lily, you should do it.
I should make a dress.
Yes.
You're right.
I'll give her like 5 yards. Yes, she could do it. Yes, Lily knows
my.
how to sew. Lily knows how to do whatever that's called. Seamstress.
Yeah.
Like
garment sewing.
That. I don't know how to do that.
All right. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm down.
gosh, that'll
I'll
be
make a
cute.
dress. I'm excited.
She can make it, put a big old bow on it.
Yes. Okay. From Jennifer Aragon asking about the My Favorite Colors Moda yardage, are you saying the colors shown on the fabric don't match the actual Moda solid colors? The Bellas.
Okay, the Bellas. Okay, so let's talk about printing. So printing is done overseas, and you can print on like a regular straight printer, whatever that's called. This is digitally printed because, okay, so when you see a bolt, I don't have another one here. When you see a bolt, you see circles on the end. That's how many dies it takes to print. If you want something with this many colors, you can't do it on a regular printer that prints regular fabric. You have to do it on a digital printer. And a digital printer is different technology than a regular printer, so it's not going to be exactly the same. But the only way to get this look is to do it on digital because of this many colors. So when you see the side of a, trying to think if any of those over there have it. I bet they do. Let me see that bundle right there. Will you throw it? The Homestead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thanks. That'll show me. Yeah, that's mine. It's, so when you pull, let's see. Hopefully it's on here now that I said it. Okay, these don't have it. Oh yeah, I do. Here they go. So this one doesn't have it because it's one fabric, so I shouldn't have pulled that one out. But when you pull this one out, these are, now Moda makes them cute. Not everybody makes them cute. Let me put it the right way. So this means that when it ran on the printer, the colors used, it went through and did all the light gray. Then on top of that, it did the green, the darker gray, the other gray, the other green, the other gray, the other. So it used, is that 7?
Yes.
7 colors to make this. But you can't do that with all of these. So that's how you have to get the digital. So you can tell the quality of fabric, the more dots, the better.
Okay.
Now on this, it doesn't count because it's white fabric that they're printing blue on, and that's probably they're considering that their dot probably.
Yes.
Or no, this is the dot, because see, yeah,
That's the
there's the
same
dot.
thing.
It's the same dot. But they just make it pretty.
It's a little watering can,
Yeah, that's what it is.
I think, right?
Yeah, I'm not a gardener. I need some trees though. I'm trying to negotiate with Kevin on they're building a house kind of behind us, and I'm like, I need some trees.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't want me to plant trees. So he just tells me not today.
That's funny.
I told him, I said, one day a gardener's going to just show up and we're going to have trees.
Ooh.
I don't think that's really going to happen though.
But the colors that are printed are very close. You just shouldn't use it as a swatch, right?
Right. And so, like, this is honey. And so, platinum, you know, I mean, platinum is great. It's just not exact.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. And Karen Sharp, well, first of all, she said she needs the needle case that says Stay Sharp because her last name's Sharp.
Oh.
That's hilarious. I love it. But she was also asking, what weight cardstock paper do you use at Fat Quarter Shop to print out your patterns, etc.? Since we always have that nice.
I have no idea.
I'm not sure either. It's
You
like
know-
glossy.
Yeah, it's all complicated. Everything is different, actually.
Yeah.
You could put a comment on one of the videos and Ashley could ask Sarah. But we special order it, and actually not all of them are the same. So like cross stitch and quilting, they're a little bit different. Mm-hmm. And what you can do if you're looking for that is printers sell paper books. And they're not very big, and you can go through, and every time we do a book, like Lori Holt's paper inside the book is not the same as Joanna's paper, is not the same as Camille's paper, is not the same as Fat Quarter Shop's paper. So when you get our books, you're going to see that all of Lori's paper is the same on every one of her books. Every one of, like, Joanna's books are going to be the same paper. So every designer gets to pick what they want. But it is pretty complicated. I mean, I can remember when we first started doing it, like, you would touch the paper, and that's how we picked this paper, is like sew on it, tear it off, and see which one works the best.
Okay, and a few questions from earlier. Zarina was asking if we will be doing tutorials for Nebula.
No, but if you want to ask questions, Lily can answer any questions. Yes. I'm not, are you making it yet, or started it?
I have not started it yet, no, but I will start it this week, my first blocks.
So she can bring them next week and give you tips, and you can ask Lily. I am not sewing that one.
Yes, and also Julie Herman from Jaybird Quilts is posting videos on each block for free on her YouTube and Facebook and all
Perfect.
that.
I didn't know she had a YouTube, so great.
Yeah.
And she's like really good at social media, so I'm sure she would answer you.
Yes.
I don't know. I think they might have a Facebook group for it.
Yes, there is. Nebula BOM.
So yeah, get in Facebook, join that, and just add, and I'm sure anybody in there would help you.
Yeah. And then someone was asking where I got my necklace. They really liked it. Funny backstory. It was I don't know if you can see it, Kimberly. Mm-hmm. It's the Golden Snitch from Harry Potter. It was a Valentine's Day gift from Cruz, my boyfriend partner, about 5 years ago when we started dating. So
I would have never known it was Harry Potter.
It was a bracelet, and he turned it into a necklace.
By himself?
By himself, yeah.
Oh, see, some of y'all are handy. We're not handy at the Kimberly house.
Yes, but it's just a Golden Snitch, so that's what it is. And Robin Jones was asking, what good shows are you watching or listening to, Kimberly? I always do what you suggest.
Okay, on Netflix, Crack came out. I would give it like a 6 or 7. There was nothing in there that isn't already out on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you know that whole story, there was nothing in there new. I watched The Night Stalker. And one day I thought that was excellent. I'd give that a 10. On Netflix, that's about Richard Ramirez. I think that's all I've watched recently. Oh. I got Netflix. No, I didn't. I got Discovery Plus. What is it?
Discovery Plus, yes.
Okay, I got that. And there's 2 things I'm watching. I'm watching American Detective, which is Joe Kenda, and he is narrating other people's cases. And if you look, some of the other people, there's 4 episodes so far, some of the other people look familiar because they were on like the first 48 other shows that A&E has done. So that's kind of interesting because I was like, that guy looks really familiar, his name is familiar. So you'll see people that you might have already seen on other shows. That's really good. Of course, I mean, I love Joe Kenda. I think he's funny. And then there's one called Unison, or some YouTube crazy guy. What is it?
I don't know.
Unison or Ison or something. I don't have my phone up here. Unison. I don't know. It's some weird YouTube guy, and I don't know. It's very weird, and there's 2 episodes, and I've watched that. It's very, I don't know what I think of it. But it's one of those that, like, I'm not really sure. I think it's because I'm from a different generation, but I don't really understand it because I didn't grow up with the internet. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me to relate because there was no internet until I was in college. So they're talking about things that are harder for me to relate to, so I don't really understand all the context of it, but I don't know. Ashley, do you know what it is?
No, actually.
I don't know what it's called. Something. But it's a Discovery Plus.
No.
It's a new app that you can buy.
Yeah.
What else am I watching? That's it.
You get Discovery Plus for you with Verizon for a year.
I don't have Verizon. I have. What do I have? I have AT&T. AT&T.
And we had a new YouTube member join, GB Hart. Welcome, GB.
Thank you.
And then question from Yummy Yarns. Sorry if this has been asked, just made it to watch. Do you have a thread recommendation for the Serendipity quilt? It will be my first quilt along. I want to make sure I have everything.
I would do 2600. So and that's this quilt right here, which is the charity quilt. So this weekend I started work, and yesterday I worked on the American Gatherings quilt along, sew along that Lisa Bonjean is doing. And I'm testing some of the patterns for her, and I could not decide what gray, but I ended up using color 2600 and it works great. I was a little bit concerned that it would be too light, but it isn't. It's great. So I would use, that's what I'm going to use, 2600. It is light gray. We don't have any down here, but it's light gray. It's not too dark. Because if you use, I was very concerned about the thread showing, and it didn't. So guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with Lily and I, and we love you guys, and we will be back next week with a ton of stuff.
Yes. Bye, everyone.